It's been a couple days since I've talked about some Christian songs. I did it 3 days in a row earlier this week, but on day 179, we're going to go back to a Christian artist and a song that I've been absolutely loving lately. It's called God Takes Breaks by Forrest Frank. I'm going to read an excerpt from the song as the quote today, and then we're going to talk about how Scripture backs it up. It's all gas and no brakes for you. God made rest for the sake of you. You're so much more than what you're paid to do. A moment in His presence, it'll make you new. 6 days. 6 days, that's all He needed. Put the app down for a day, just delete it. Only get one life, we don't get to repeat it. And then it goes on to say, take a deep breath, go outside, feel the breeze blowing by, all the trees and birds in sight. They don't worry about their life. Even God takes breaks. That's a lot to unpack. Go check out that song, God Takes Breaks, if you want to give it a shot. It's worth it. But when I think about this resting in God, and even how God designed the world, we're going to talk about Scripture. Before I do that, just think about your schedule. I'm thinking about my schedule right now. Like, so often I fall into this pattern where I'm chasing paychecks at work, or I'm working towards trying to get, an elevated role or a promotion, or in your off time when you're not working, you're scrolling on your phone. And amidst all of this chaos that we're chasing in life, sometimes we forget to truly live. But the thing is, God didn't design us for exhaustion. God designed us for a specific purpose. And part of that purpose is resting in Him. Because if you look at Genesis chapter 2, verses 2 through 3, it says, on the seventh day, God finished His work that He had done, and He rested on the seventh day from all His work that He had done. So God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all His work that He had done in creation. So God, who didn't need rest, rested. And if you look into that, I think maybe He didn't do that because He was tired, but because He was setting a rhythm for us to follow, for us to emulate. I truly think that God was setting a rhythm for us. He was showing us something sacred, which is that stopping is not a weakness. There's wisdom in resting. And it's not to where you're only resting because there can be a pitfall of laziness, but resting that's out of obedience. I talked about hurry sickness, this idea of hurry sickness in a video many, many weeks ago. But we get in this hurry sick rush, especially in America. So let's break down some specific lines from the song that I just read from, where it says specifically, a moment in His presence, it'll make you new. Like that is directly from Scripture. Isaiah 40, verse 31. It says, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. They will walk and not be faint. So when was the last time that you stopped long enough to actually renew your strength in God's presence? Think about that. I used to be really bad at that. I'm still working on it. But when's the last time that we've actually stopped long enough to really renew our strength in Him? I say this often, but it's become more apparent as I've gotten older. I've realized that the enemy doesn't always, I think like in my life, for example, I don't think that, dying is necessarily what the enemy's after. Like, I'm not going to fall off a cliff per se tomorrow, hopefully, knock on wood. But sometimes what's just as destructive in our life is just if the enemy can keep us busy enough. Like, in our busyness, we can become not only unfaithful, but like not who God created us to be. And I think that's why that next line in the Forrest Frank song is important, where it says, put that app down for a day, just delete it. Like, being extremely focused and making it a priority to clear out the clutter and the noise in your life. It is so important for your mental and spiritual wellness, like I talked about yesterday. There was a quote that I was able to find related to this. It says, you don't have to be constantly connected to be effective. You don't have to be constantly connected to be effective. That FOMO that people get, the fear of missing out, you can recover from that. The hardest part, like when you delete Facebook's the first week or two for a lot of people, and then it gets so much better. It starts to feel natural again to not have it. Like you don't have to chase this algorithm of Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and X. You don't have to chase an algorithm to have worth. I think sometimes one of the most spiritual things that we can do is just silence the noise and just connect with God. I've read this verse before, but Colossians 3 verse 23 says, whatever you do, work heartily as if for the Lord and not for men. Just literally telling us objectively to work hard, to be faithful, and don't confuse your identity with your activity. We all need a reminder of that. It's like you are not your job title. You're not your social media account. You're simply a child of God. And that's where it gets at, and towards that final line is you're so much more than what you're paid to do. A moment in His presence, it'll make you new. So, again, just reminding ourselves that we were created in the image of God. We're made to walk with Him and to find stillness in Him and to really enjoy life, to make the most out of our life, to make our life full, not just to survive it. And then that last part there where it says, you only get one life, you don't get to repeat it. So Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27 talks about this, you only get one life, you don't get to repeat it line. It says, people are destined to die once and after that to face judgment. Again, that's Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27. If you go on to read 28, it also says, so Christ was sacrificed once to take away the sins of many and will appear a second time, not to bear sin, but to bring salvation to those who are waiting on Him. So again, we only get one shot at this life, so don't spend it burning out and chasing things that won't matter for eternity. Spend your life, this shot that you have in life, walking with God, loving people, living in rest, not just burning yourself out. So that's the message today, is just a reminder to slow down, to breathe, to be still. Know that God is here, God is with us. Let Him restore you. That's day 179.